You know, every single time you get a paycheck, you're standing at a fork in the road. Seriously, one path leads to building wealth, where your money starts working for you. The other, well, it leads to paying for things that work against you. Today, we're going to explore those two paths through a really powerful story.
Does this sound familiar? I think we've all been there, right? Your bank account looks great on payday, and then, poof, it feels like it vanishes, and you're just counting the days till the next one. But what if there was a way to make that money actually stick around and, grow, instead of just disappearing?
To really get this, I want to tell you the story of three friends, Shaurya, Rishabh, and Akash. They all moved to the big city, to Mumbai, with the exact same dream. They wanted to get rich. But their ideas on how to actually do that couldn't have been more different.
So here's the breakdown of how they thought. You've got Shaurya, who wanted the good life and he wanted it right now. Then there's Rishabh, who is all about building real, tangible assets, something he could see and touch. So he was focused on real estate. And finally, there's Akash. His goal was different. It was about true financial freedom. And for him, the path was the stock market. These three different mindsets sent them on three wildly different journeys.
Let's start with Shaurya. He was the first one to land a really good job, and he decided, hey, I'm going to enjoy this. His entire focus was on upgrading his lifestyle, not really on saving or investing.
So, after a couple of years, Shaurya's pulling in 50,000 rupees a month. Now to him, this felt like a fortune, more than enough to get everything he ever wanted. He saw his coworkers driving nice cars, living in nice places, and he wanted to keep up.
So what's the first big purchase? A car, of course, but not with cash. He took out a loan, an EMI. And just like that, boom, he's got a 12,000 rupee car payment on top of his 12,000 rupee rent. Right off the bat, a massive chunk of his salary was already spoken for before he even had a chance to spend it. And look at what that does. Almost half his monthly income, 48%, was just gone, instantly eaten up by rent and debt. He was working hard for sure, but nearly half of all that effort was going straight to liabilities, not to building his future. All right, so that's Shaurya's path. Now let's switch gears and look at his friends Rishabh and Akash. They took a completely different approach. While Shaurya was racking up expenses, they were busy trying to build up their assets.
Rishabh played the long game. He was patient. He didn't have a high-paying job at first, but you know what he did have? Time. And he spent it researching. He found out the Navi Mumbai area was about to see some major development. So, in 2011, he got his father to help him invest 1 lakh rupees in a property out in Panvel. Just 5 years later, that property had more than tripled in value, and better yet, he was collecting rent on it. Now, Akash's strategy was different, but it was just as disciplined. Even though he started with a smaller salary, just 25,000 rupees, he lived by the classic 50-30-20 rule. 50% for his needs, 30% for his wants, and a totally non-negotiable 20%, that's 5,000 rupees, went straight into savings and investments every single month. And what did he do with that 5,000 rupees? He set up a systematic investment plan, an SIP, and a Nifty 50 index fund. Basically, it's just an automatic way to invest the same amount every month without even thinking about it. It was simple, it was consistent, and it was automated. He wasn't trying to strike it rich overnight, he was just methodically building his wealth.
Okay, let's hit the fast forward button. We're jumping ahead 11 years. All three friends are now 36 years old. And those small, seemingly insignificant decisions they made early on, well, they've compounded into dramatically different financial realities. By this point, Shaurya is doing really well for himself. He's earning a great salary, and he decides it's finally time to buy his dream home. He and his wife find this perfect 3-bedroom apartment in Panvel. And the price? A cool 90 lakh rupees.
Now obviously, they couldn't just buy it with cash, so they managed to scrape together a 20 lakh down payment, but that meant taking out a massive 70 lakh loan. This decision locked him into a monthly payment of around 58,000 rupees for the next 20 years. Shaurya had his dream house, but he'd also just signed up for 2 decades of heavy debt.
So, after all the paperwork is done, they finally reveal who the owner of the property is. And this is where the story gets really good.
Yup, you guessed it. The person selling him his dream house was Rishabh. Shaurya was literally buying the exact same property that Rishabh had put his money into all those years ago. Just look at this growth. It's incredible. Rishabh's initial 1 lakh rupee investment, thanks to his patience and the area's development, had ballooned to 90 lakh rupees. Shaurya's dream home became the final payoff for Rishabh's long-term vision. By the age of 36, Rishabh was financially free. But hold on, what about Akash? He actually reveals what he thinks is an even smarter, more systematic path to wealth. It's something he calls the 7-3-2 rule of compounding. Okay, here's how it works, and it's awesome. The rule basically says that if you invest consistently, it might take you, say, 7 years to save your first 50 lakhs. But then the magic of compounding kicks in. Your money starts making money. So the next 50 lakhs only takes you 3 years, and the 50 lakhs after that, just 2 years. The growth starts to accelerate like crazy. So Akash put this into practice. His goal was to have 1 crore adjusted for inflation by the time he retired. And to get there, he disciplined himself to invest 50,000 rupees every single month, just letting that 7-3-2 rule do its thing. Think about that contrast. While Shaurya was paying a 58,000 rupees EMI for a liability, Akash was investing a similar amount to buy his freedom. So when you boil it all down, the story of these three friends isn't about getting lucky. It's about 2 fundamentally different ways of thinking about money. There's the middle-class mindset, which was Shaurya's. That mindset asks, hey, my salary just hit my account, what can I go buy? Then there's the rich mindset, which both Rishabh and Akash shared. It asks a different question. My salary just came in. How can I put this money to work so it makes more money for me? One leads to a life of paying for things, the other leads to a life of owning things that pay you.
Let's just put these 2 forces side by side. The power of compounding builds assets that pay you. It leads to financial freedom, and your wealth grows exponentially. On the other side, the power of loans and EMIs creates liabilities that you must pay for. It leads to decades of work, and your debt grows with interest working against you.
Ultimately, every single rupee you earn stands at that exact same fork in the road. Is it going to go toward an EMI, paying for something in your past, or is it going to go towards an SIP, investing in your future? The choice is always yours.